The star of the show.
He's Biz Markie.
Hard-working.
He's Biz Markie.
Mr. Dynamite.
He's Biz Markie.
Mr. Dynamite.
So fresh.
Yes, y'all are to the like beating. You can either dance or just have a seat and listen to the radio. What I am displaying, a different kind of rapper language that I am saying. To all the party people, now they go with my info. When it comes to rockin' parties, I am a nympho. Maniac, brainiac for doing my dancing. My record make the music in a trance and hypnotize your body and like it's a accordion. You won't be fighting the illin', you just be partying down with the funky sound with yours truly. I'm the original B.I.C. I mean, okay, I will the E and
Kingsley don't know about that.
Good morning. Today is Good morning. Today is Wednesday, July 28, 2020, and this is the Urban Talk Radio 103.5 FM, where you will hear conversation, information, education, inspiration, and motivation from the American urban perspective. I am your host, Kingsley Ossei, and for once in a lifetime, my co-host Shafiq is here, pumped up, ready to go.
Up, ready to go.
If you're joining us today in our home studios, our special guests, whom we are hoping they can get on this Zoom with their track phones, their Obama phones, whatever it is that they have. Today on Urban Talk Radio, you can join the conversation on Facebook at Bull Minds and Twitter at Bull Minds. You can also stream this show on your smartphone or computer by logging on to newhavenindependent.org. You can also join me on my Facebook page, Kingsley Ossei. And today, our topic of discussion was supposed to be remembering the great Biz Markie, who just passed. May he rest in peace. Condolences to friends and family. So we have some friends that are supposed to join us, and we hope that they can, get on this Zoom so we can have this conversation going. All right, Shafiq, what's going on, brother? What's going on?
Listen, man, how you? Listen in the house, bro. I'm making it happen, man. I'm excited.
You see my shirt?
Listen, I got up.
See my shirt?
What is it? It says life is an index.
Life is still in the blank. Life is good. Life is peace. Life is,
gotcha.
Life is.
But you were a little frustrated at the beginning of the show, man. You were a little frustrated at the beginning of the show. You slept.
Because I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why I'm mad, and that's shout out to Angela D. Dot.
Can I do it like this? Can I do it like this? Kingsley, can I do it like this? 103.5 FM. Tell us why you mad.
Shout out to D. Dot. Shout out to D. Dot. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm mad, because I was watching the hearing yesterday about the September. Oh no, just chill out about what happened in September 6th. And it's really sad that we arguing about whether it's a waste of time or whatnot. We have an ex-president that is still running around telling lies about the election that was stolen. He got caught. The people who will not vaccine, that listen to everything that he's saying, those people are ready to run up in there again for the next election. So there should be, they had the 9/11 Commission. Republicans investigated Benghazi for 2 years until the day Hillary lost an election. So why question this one? Shafiq, I heard everything that you were saying, that there is so many things that they can do. You are right. But why should they leave this one alone? Give me a tangible reason about why the Republicans are still running. You got Matt Gaetz and his people still doing rallies talking about a stolen election. So why do you think they should leave this alone?
Okay. So here's, first of all, people have freedom of speech. So if they want to give rallies, they want to keep saying stop the steal, that's them. They can say whatever they want. It's freedom of speech. When you bust up in the Capitol or any other Capitol and you violating the law, then we expect for the state, local, or federal government to do their job. Lock people up, do investigations. I'm fine with FBI and Justice Department and whoever else, Homeland Security, continuing to do the investigation the way they're doing it. I would have a problem if a bill went before Congress or the Senate and said, we are going to put a moratorium on these violations. So as of, September 1st, we're going to just stop investigating it. If they said that, I would be concerned. but no one's saying that. So these crimes, this incident, January 6th, will be continued to be investigated. People will likely continue to get locked up or arrested going into next year. In the meantime, we have record-breaking numbers of people getting murdered in America and shot and killed on a daily basis. We've got a variant coming from overseas to reinfect people that already have the vaccine. We are still in a pandemic. We are just sending kids back to school, and we still haven't even figured that out across America. We're like number 35 in education nation worldwide. I do not want my elected officials wasting time going back and forth in soliloquies and back. They can handle that stuff. I need to see that on TV all day. Go do that stuff off camera. Work on the issues for the people in the country. We got people still starving in America. You got farmers going broke, losing their farms that's been in there generations forever. You got people that's homeless outbreak all in LA and all around the country. Who cares about people on TV crying? They broke in the Capitol. Look, real talk, and I'm a former police officer. Those cops should knock them people upside their head, like they would have did if you had a black man driving down the street in a car. You would have never let them pull that off. Do your job. It's very simple. Do your job. That's my thing. Everybody got a job to do their job.
Shafiq, I agree and disagree because there is a Republican Party that is an opposition party. And they've made it clear they are not willing to play ball with Joe Biden, and they're just going to say no all the way until they take over the House and the Senate. And how are they taking over the House and the Senate? They're doing that with the voter suppression, which they've done successfully.
Let me
finish talking. Let me finish talking, brother.
I voted for Biden. I voted for Biden.
Let me finish.
He's dragging his feet, man.
Let me finish talking. Let me finish talking because it's very easy. You know, some of us are following politics and some are not. And the ones that are not, it's very easy for the opposition party to just continue to say no until the day the election comes. And then they're going to be like, oh, Biden, we voted for Biden and he didn't do nothing. But the answer to why didn't Biden do nothing? There is a roadblock. People didn't understand that you're not just voting for the president. Without the House and the Senate, the president cannot just run around and just sign bills because we're not in a dictatorship government, okay? And people need to understand. A lot of people didn't understand that when they were voting, okay? So with that being said, he can't pass infrastructure, police reform, he can't do it. Gun violence reform, he can't do it.
Yes, he can. He can do the executive order. Let
me finish. He's got to go bipartisan route first, and if that's not working, then we got to see Then we got to see what he's capable of doing.
He can go right.
Brother, you could say all that
executive order.
Nah. You know what? If we're going to talk to our listeners to understand how this thing works, let's do them a favor and really let them know how this is, because this is not when Trump was just running around, just signing stuff that later on, Trump was just a president who was not playing by the rules. So let's not make it feel like it's just regular to just run around and not play by the rules. Republicans are not playing by the rules right now. And regards to that whole insurrection thing that you said, or let's leave it alone, or let's just lock people up. Everybody's getting locked up except for the people that caused it. And if you heard what the dude said, what the policeman said yesterday, the realest thing I ever heard, he said he wants to know the person that sent the hitman needs to get arrested. Okay, the hitman has been arrested. Now, what will happen to the person that sent the hitman? Okay, so you're talking about, oh, we should leave it alone and deal with all this other stuff. And meanwhile, it's public officials who are getting paid on our tax dollars out there campaigning for that next riot, for that next insurrection. And you say that's okay, they should leave that alone? I'm sorry, brother. They should not leave that alone.
I know it's emotional for you. I don't know if there is therapy you can get for political trauma. I think you may have some. You might be suffering from some political trauma. But it's government, brother, and I love you.
It's government. Our everyday life is based on politics, brother. There are a lot of.
And I will say that, and this is a fact. This is a fact. We could talk about what President Trump did for the next year. The reality is, President Biden is the president now, and he owns it. He owns it.
Well,
So
Biden's trying to pass laws that he
just,
can't do. Biden's
listen,
trying to pass
let me
laws
just
that he
finish.
can't do. Biden is
So
trying to legislate.
listen,
They're trying to
all I'm
legislate
saying is,
and they're not moving. So, you know, let's be
so
real.
all I'm saying is they got the majority. They got the majority.
No, they don't have the majority.
It.
They do not have the majority. It's 50-50. And Joe Manchin is playing for Joe Manchin is playing in the Republican hand right now. Joe Manchin
and the vice president has the vote. She has the title.
But Joe Manchin is not playing to Democrats' hand. He's playing Republicans' hand. There are 2 senators that are playing into Republicans' hand. So I repeat, Shafiq, if we're going to have this conversation with our listeners, we're going to have to keep it real, brother, because I am not here for spinning. Whatever fact that I know is what I'm going to say to our listeners. And the facts that I know is...
So I keep it. All right, so I keep this fact. President Biden said at his acceptance speech the night he won the election, he said, the African-American community had my back, and I'm gonna have their back. The African-American community is dying from gun violence. The African-American community is dying from poverty. The African-American community still has not got resolution on how we're handling police reform. The African-American community is becoming poorer and poorer because they can't buy housing. They have to live in affordable housing.
Who's blocking it though? Who is blocking it?
No, let me finish it. Dude, let me finish. That's what's happening to the African-American community. African-American community was dying from COVID when he was still in government, right? Before he was the president. He's the president now, and we're still dying from high numbers of COVID, and there's a variant coming in. All I want to know is, what are we doing for Black people? Thank you. Let's not forget, Kingsley, let's not forget, the vice president came to Connecticut. She came to New Haven, and she didn't even meet with one Black leader.
Shafiq, you should know better. You are singing the same old song.
Hands up, Black man.
Shafiq, you singing the same old song to the people who do not follow politics. Shafiq, there are legislation out there that are being blocked. So you keep asking the same question about what, the same old, what did Obama do for Black people? What did this president do for Black people? What is Black people doing for ourselves? And besides the fact that I'm going to ask you that question, there is legislation out there that are being blocked. There are legislation out there that are being blocked. You're not talking about that. You're not talking about that position, though. You're not talking about that position.
Getting a salary, man. He's getting paid to do a job. President Biden is getting paid to do a job. Let's just be honest, man.
Look at Harry. Look at Harry in the chat. Harry's in the chat cheering for you.
Listen, Kingsley, here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Oh, so now I'm fighting two Republicans, right? Now I'm fighting two Republicans on the show, right?
I'm just going with the truth. Listen,
now
they asked to be elected. Kingsley, they asked you for your vote. They asked me for my vote. When they got elected, they got elected and they got a job. They get paid. They get a paycheck. They're going to get a pension. They're going to get security for the rest of your life for them and some of their intimate family members. It's a job. It's a job. So it's not a philanthropic job. It's a paid job. They get medical benefits. They have a scope of duties to do. And then they have stuff that they say that they're going to do when they say, vote for me. Where are those things? So saying, oh, I can't pass it because I don't need that bipartisan stuff. From George Bush and other presidents that preceded him, when they couldn't get things done, they put it in an executive office. He can write an executive order and get this stuff addressed. I don't hear all that stuff.
Everything doesn't require executive order, brother, and you know it. Everything is not executive order.
You know what President Obama said?
Everything is not executive order. Healthcare cannot be passed with the executive order, and you know it. Everything, infrastructure is not going to be able to be passed, the amount of money they want to spend on it with executive order, and you know it, Shafiq. So stop it, brother. Let's teach our people. Let's stop it, man. Stop it. You're using a lot of Republican talking points right now, and I'm not having it.
Yeah.
We can practice 2 Republicans on the show.
Here's the thing. You like this one? You like this one, Kingsley. You like this one. They said all of the mayors, many of the mayors around the country, when they said it's COVID and it's gun violence, and what do we do about the surge in gun violence, African-American, Hispanic, Latino community, they said, oh, it's gun violence and it's police reform stuff going on. We're not really sure. They said we need, this is what they said. They said the key to slowing down this gun violence in America and the crime is jobs and jobs opportunity. He can't sign an executive order to flow jobs into the communities and get a job pipeline going straight from the White House. He can do that. He could say, here's some infrastructure jobs, X amount go to African American Hispanic community or disenfranchised communities. He can do that. He can sign an executive order for trauma services to go into every single school in America to make sure that kids can get proper trauma therapy so we can try to reduce all of this violence amongst our youth and these mass shootings. That's executive order, big dog.
Shafiq, if
Through
everything,
the Department of Education.
Shafiq, so to you, basically what you're saying is everything the president want to do can be done with the pen, with an executive order. If executive order is all you need to solve
everything
all our
that
problems,
we need.
hold up, let me
Everything
finish.
that we need. Listen.
Shafiq, hold up, because I'm not gonna allow you to misinform our listeners. I'm not gonna allow you to misinform our listeners. You're basically saying that everything on the table that we need can be done with an executive order.
Don't we got a show? Kingsley, don't we got people waiting to go on a show about Markie? What are we doing?
It didn't come, so the show
You're
must
not
go on.
You're not going to win this debate with me. You're not going to. Kingsley, you're not going to win this debate with me, Kingsley.
What happened?
You're not going to win this debate with me.
I know I'm not, but I'm not gonna win, but I'm not gonna allow you to misinform the listeners or the viewers neither.
Well, you already conceded, so I'll let you talk. Go ahead.
Because I'm gonna let the viewers understand that the government operates on a House and the Senate. It's 50-50, and Joe Manchin is playing to the hand of the Republicans. Yesterday, he made it very clear that Democrats should figure out how to get Republicans to come on the table because he is not doing the reconciliation. He's not doing it. He's not about to get rid of the filibuster. He made it very clear. Why? Because he's in West Virginia. He's conservative, so he's taking the word D out of it, and he doesn't care about that. And he said Democrats should figure it out. Therefore, it's not 50-50. It's 48 right now. It's 48 plus Kamala 49 because there's the other chick in Arizona who's not playing ball neither. So with that being said, Democrats it doesn't have the upper hand right now. And you're talking about everything can be done with executive order. Shafiq, let's not go there with it. It's not.
I know you're upset.
First of all, I want to just say, they can't sign a $3 trillion infrastructure with an executive pen. It doesn't work like that, bro.
That's correct. So here's what I want to say to you, Kingsley. First of all, I want to say I am very understanding and aware that you have been traumatized through politics, through the most recent election of former President Trump. And I recognize that. And I want to be sensitive to that. What I do want to say to you, Kingsley, is in the House, in the Senate, between Republicans and Democrats, one common thread that they have, two common threads, they are people and they are Americans. It is a politician's job to try to put things on the table that people will gravitate towards. People will gravitate towards the fact that there's an explosion of gun violence in America. What people are not going to gravitate towards is one group saying, we want stricter gun controls, so we're just going to, in the Midwest where people use their guns to eat, literally to eat and to defend themselves on different levels, oh, we're just going to get rid of. No, that's not about what it is. It's about listen to what people are saying when it comes to the services. The services that people are saying is, I've got gun violence in Chicago at an epidemic rate because there's no jobs, because people are renting homes and they can't buy their own home, because they have poor education infrastructure. So I think that you can get people to the table, Republicans and Democrats, and say, could we put trauma services in Chicago schools?
Kumbaya, right? Kumbaya.
Could we pass an infrastructure? Just hear me out. Just hear me out, Kingsley.
I'm hearing you. Just hear me out. Okay, go ahead. Finish it.
I want to pass an infrastructure bill. You ask the other side, what do you need in the bill? Oh, we want to make sure the unions are in it and this. And okay, fine. Well, I need to make sure that these jobs have a trade program from the kids that's in high school can come out of high school and get in this trade program and help work on this bridge and help work on this street and help do this light pole. And if we do that, we will keep costs down low, and it won't drive up the cost of law enforcement. It won't drive the cost of healthcare. So it don't have to always be this big explosion of free healthcare to everybody or nothing. No. How about we just work on getting people trauma? help. Because you know what? If you give people trauma help, you reduce the anxiety, you help them build a better mental health. That can reduce some of the ailments and elements that lead to their bad health. It's just that simple stuff. That's what I'm saying. So we don't have to always go for the big nut.
The difference between me and you is I'm not a politician, you are. So I'm speaking from a non-politician point of view. Now, politicians will always talk their bipartisan stuff, kumbaya, kumbaya. When you have Mitch McConnell, the leader of the Senate, that says that I'm on a mission to say no until the day that you lose the election. I'm making sure that you are going to fail. You have the leader of the party who can count the vote, who have a power over how his people should vote. And he makes sure that he get them together and say, we're just going to say no. You cannot sit out here and sing a kumbaya with me, bro. Because I follow politics very well. So you is not about to sing a kumbaya to me.
Kingsley, it's about building bridges.
No, man, how you gonna build that bridge? Hold up. How, you still say build it? You still talking bipartisan, bro? How you gonna build that bridge? You know what?
Bringing the temperature down.
You know what? You know what? The progressives are mad at Biden right now because Biden is still talking that talk that you're talking right now. Oh, you know, I know we could work with them together. I know we could work them. And progressives said, bro, keep it moving because they're not going to work with you. They've made it very clear.
Here's what I'm saying.
What I'm not going to allow you to say is, you sound like a Republican, but what I'm not going to allow you to say is to sell the independents and the Democrats, or just blame it on Biden because nothing is moving. Blame it on Biden because nothing is moving.
I didn't say that.
People are not willing to play ball, bro. I'm not going to allow you to do that.
I did not say that. What I'm saying
that's what you said. You said you just took out a pen and just sign executive orders. That's what you said. You say he can sign executive order on every infrastructure signing.
I did not say that.
Yes, you did. You damn near did. You did. You said there's something called executive order. He should just sign his way out of everything.
Here's what we're going to do, Kingsley. This is what we're going to do. Later on today, we're going to ride this back, and me and you are watching.
We are. And you got Harry in the chat cheering for you. Harry, I'm not going to debate with cults because I'm not going to debate with cults because Trump supporters are definitely cults. I'm not going to debate with cults.
No, Kingsley, right now, Kingsley, I can't hug you through the Zoom, but I'm hugging you through the Zoom because you're my brother and I love you. But what I want to say to you is this, Kingsley. It's good sometimes for us to hail our Democratic Party that we come from. I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican, I'm a Green Party. And that's good, right? Because that's part of the.
I'm a kind of independent because I believe in working together.
Okay, no, you're kind of a not. You don't let me talk, so you're like a not talker or something like that. But so Kingsley, it's good to do that, right? Because those are our parties that get us to the polls, and that's what gets us in office. But once we get in office, our job is to represent the needs of the people. It's not to stand there and keep saying, I'm a Democrat, so Democrat this. Listen, the people are dying from hunger. Our number one goal is to feed people. So whoever wants to come up with a plan to feed people, I'm on board with that. I don't care.
Let me ask. Pause. Before you preach, let me ask a question because you sound to represent the Republican Party right now. What is the Republicans doing for the country right now? What legislation do Republicans have out there besides passing all these voter restriction laws all over the country? What is Republicans selling to the people of the country that, for a person like me that may be independent Democrat, what is Republicans out there selling to me right now to tell me why?
What do you want them to tell me? What do you want them to sell to you? What do you want?
No, that's not the question. Shaku, that is. I mean, I say Shaku. Shafiq, that is not the question. My question is, what is because I should know. I know what Democrats have out there that Republicans are opposing. The infrastructure bill, the police reform bill, the gun violence bill. I know all this stuff out there that they are opposing. So my question is, no, Shafiq, you laughing, but I'm asking you a question though. I said, what is Republican policies out there right now besides the good old pro-life this and that? And what are they out there selling right now that people should say that, hey, I want to vote a Republican? What they're doing is voter restricting, making sure that Black folks are not able to vote because when people don't vote, they get they win elections. That's what they're doing. And when people are doing, people hold on,
right.
I'm gonna finish because there's a common sense to this, and people don't get it. The common sense to this is, and this is going to Harry. When somebody is trying to cheat to win an election that you support, the question is, they didn't even promise you anything for you to even say that, hey, you promised this, so I'm gonna hold you onto it. When they win, they didn't promise you anything, so they ain't got to do nothing. They cheated their way to win. So you can't say, oh, you promised us jobs, you promised us infrastructure bill, you promised us this, and we're gonna hold you onto it. And 4 years or 6 years later, if you haven't, we're gonna vote you out. You are what do you call it? You in the House, 2 years, we're going to vote you out. You and your president, 4 years, if you haven't, we're going to vote you out. You a senator, 6 years, if you haven't. They didn't promise you nothing but cheat their way to election. That's my point, and that's really what's going on factually. It's a party that is opposing everything on the table, and you can't tell me anything rather than that. So anything else that you want to say?
Yes, I can. Here's what I can tell you.
Kumbaya. Anyway, let me do a station.
Here's what I can tell you real quick.
Let me do a station ID.
Go ahead.
This is the Urban Talk Radio 103.5 WNHH. I am your host, Kingsley Ossei, and my co-host, Shafiq. And if you are just joining us today on Urban Talk Radio, you can join the conversation on Facebook and Bold Minds and Twitter at Bold Minds. You can also stream this show on your smartphone or computer by logging on to newhaven.org. We also have a very special guest, a very, 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 very great, normally you say good friend of mine, a very great friend of mine, DJ Billy Bush, aka Afro of WXCI 91.7. I lied. of WZMX of WZMX Hot 93.7. The man with the sharpest hand, DJ Billy Bush. Bush, what's good, brother?
Blessed, man. Everything is great, man. You know, another day. Just checking in with you, tapping in, seeing what's going on.
Billy Bush says everything is great, so I'm gonna zoom in on my shirt. That means life is good. Everything.
I see that. I like that. I need that shirt.
No, I don't. That means when you're debating Kingsley, he don't want to let you talk.
Now Billy's not gonna do politics.
I'm not into those debates y'all got going on. That's a whole nother situation.
Okay, no, it's fine.
So that means I'm a debate forum. So you know what? Unapologetically, some of us are very passionate with national politics and what's going on because we make it our job to make sure that people such as Billy, who just got the sharpest hand and out there, you know, doing what he loves to do, we keep him informed. So when election comes, he doesn't just look at who's running the most ad and whoever got the most picket signs or whoever got whatever is spending the most money to just go out there and vote. You know, right. If people are informed with politics, they don't have to wait until election time to, you know, to find out what where the people stand. Mitch McConnell did not put stuff on the table. He did not put stuff out there for people to vote on. Why? Because he doesn't want them to be exposed as to the things they didn't vote for or the things that they voted for. So he didn't put things on the floor. All right. When Trump people were subpoenaed, they didn't show up. So, you know, it's a lot that went on. So I'm making my business to make sure that, you know, I use my platform to keep people informed as to when you come up and you say, oh, Obama didn't do nothing for black people, or oh, Biden didn't do this and that. I'm going to tell you why he didn't do it. I'm going to let you understand that there is a government that is not working. And why is the government not working? Because if you watch one show for a whole week, you go on, you know, State of the Union or Meet the Press or something, you will find out that, hey, this is what went out the whole week. This is people that did this. This is people that didn't do this. This is legislation that went out there, who chose not to vote for, who chose to vote for. You will understand those things. And then, you know, you will know how to vote the next time. So if there's something going on in Texas, but you can't vote in Texas, and you got friends in Texas, you could drive them to the polls and tell them that, hey, you know, this is what happened in Texas. If there's voter restriction going on over there. Democrats walked out. Why did they walk out? They walked out because they said if they don't take care of the problem, then they're not going to do this. Harry's in the chat room just going on and on. He's just going crazy. But like you said, that's a whole different show. So Billy Bush, welcome to WNJ.
Billy, Billy, I know you know Kingsley well. Kingsley is suffering from political trauma. I'm trying to give him an intervention.
Okay.
I can't lay. Can I lay hands on you? Is my hand going towards Billy or towards Kingsley? I'm trying to lay hands on him
Oh Lord.
to bring him back because he gone.
That's my brother, man. You know, we definitely have a lot of Kingsley and I. We have great history together. Just from the early '90s, coming up in college radio, going to you know, conventions back in the days, doing clubs. You know, and just a personal relationship him and I have together. We've always been down. We've been day ones for a long time, and you know, I'm proud of Kingsley, man. I've seen what he's done. I see what he does for the community. He's a good brother. He has a kind heart, means well, and I support everything Kingsley is doing 100%.
Yeah.
Billy,
I support everything you're doing, but I can't support everything you're saying. But I work with you. I help you understand the realities of what's going on.
I don't know how well you know Kingsley, but I can only speak for myself and me knowing him personally. You understand? So.
I know him well. We're actually from the same tribe.
Okay.
Let me throw it back to Billy. I have known Billy since I came to Bridgeport in 1990, and I've known Billy since that era of coming into Bridgeport in 1990. DJs, you know, Billy was ahead of me because Billy was already living in Connecticut, making noise. We happened to get on the radio together at WXCI 91.7. the mixtape era, and you know, there was a little. I don't even know if I want to call it a competition. There are some DJs that I do respect that was around. You know, you have you know, whether it was
DJ Kingsley,
whether it was White Flash or it was Johans, Smooth, or you know, there was a few DJs, and some way somehow Billy Bush and myself figured out a way to outbeat the competition. So we discovered a record pool called VIP Record Pool in New York, in the Bronx, and we were members of that pool. And through that music pool, we outbeat the competition. We were the first to get every music that was coming out. We were getting the white labels before the music. It's not about this, you know, going onto the internet and getting this music so fast. We had the white labels before it hit anywhere. So that's when college radio station was the station that was breaking the music before it got to the commercial stations. And so when Billy Bush introduced himself and, you know, he talked about how well we know each other, we've done a lot of traveling. We went to music conventions. That was a way of networking, getting to meet these record label executives and the artists directly, getting drops and, you know, making sure that, and I remember one thing, I remember when Makaiser got me on the Def Jam mailing list. And Def Jam mailing list was the hardest list and the list that you wanted to get on.
If you were on that list, you were winning, believe me, because that was a tough one. You were winning.
and I got on that list, and it took probably like over a year before Billy got it because there was a chick named Shanita that was supposed to put Billy on that list. And she was playing a lot of games with you, Billy.
Yo, we were putting the pressure on these record labels to get on those mailing lists because it was important to us as DJs to have those exclusives. Because nowadays, like you said, the internet, everything is so convenient for a lot of DJs. A lot of these DJs coming up, no disrespect to any of them, but they don't understand the work and the era that you and I come from. The going to the record label, sitting in the lobby for hours sometimes just to get some promotional vinyl to have in our collection, to bring back to Connecticut, to go on the radio and premiere these exclusive records for everybody. They don't understand like the hard work we put in, the mixtape era. You was selling those, the Catch and Wreck. I had the Mad Flavor mixtapes back in the 90s, hustling in the street, going to conventions, like you said. So much work we've put in this game that a lot of the new DJs don't understand, like, what it takes to really break in this business.
And it doesn't stop there because we made it sound like we were only getting promotional records. We also have money on the right side of the pocket, going to the record stores, to B Street or, you know, or what's his name in downtown?
Downstairs Records,
Colors,
Factory,
Colors,
all that.
So many.
All that. Yeah. We will go to the record label. We will go to the VIP to pick up the records, and then we will go to the record stores to find out what is going there directly that is not going promo.
We leave Al Pizarro's office. We go right across the street to Beach Street, go downstairs and hit and spend hundreds of dollars on records and get back on the train. So a lot of times I was on the train. Sometimes I was driving. I had a gold Volkswagen back then. I know Kingsley, you remember that car I had?
I took a picture. I took a picture and sent it to you one day. I seen a Volkswagen that was like yours. It was a classic one.
Yeah,
And we'll go to White Castle before we hit the highway.
Yes. Yes,
Really
right
love
off
junk food.
those memories, man, are priceless, man.
They are priceless memories, man. And Billy, you remember when we seen Fat Fred? We was in Miami at a music convention, and we was at a late night party, and we seen Fat Freddy outside, and I went to him to get a drop, and he gave me the longest drop. And then when he finished, he was like, "Yeah, nah, where's the weed? Pass the weed." You remember that?
I remember that.
Oh man, Shafiq, man, it's a lot of memories, man.
Yes.
But today we want to talk about Biz, who was a very, very, very good friend. And I've known that, you know, a lot of time people say that known artists. Biz was a personal friend of yours because, you know, I used to come to Diamond Gyms to come check you. And there were many times where Biz would just pull up unannounced and bring records in there and DJ with you. Let's talk about your friendship with Biz and what Biz meant to you.
Well, first off, I want to big up Dave Fresh because Dave Fresh, him and Dave were running back in the days, and we made the connection through him. So I got to salute Dave for that because, you know, I met Biz through Dave. But like you said, Diamond Gym's a very popular club back in Norwalk, which I started at. Very first club I DJ'd at. Matter of fact, I was 17 years old, had no business in the club. You know, but I was in there, you know, they allowed me to go in there. I got to shout out my good friend Spud, Walter, who
Walter, Ease. What up, Ease?
DJ Ease, salute DJ Ease. He brought me in the club when I was 17 years old. That's where it started, you know. And like I said, Biz would be in there and you know, he came to the booth and I'll never forget, I was cutting up Soul to Soul, Back to Life.
Keep on moving back to life.
Oh man, that's my favorite song right there.
Yeah, it was one of them records, and this is the vinyl era. You know, he came in the booth. I was trying to show him proof. I was like, wow, Biz is in the building. Okay, right. Let me make a good impression on him. Yep. And you know, from there, like, you know, we bonded. We became friends. You know, just hanging out. He took me to 45 spots. Just everything. We gone out to eat. I brought him to Norwalk. Biz has been to my house. I brought him to my block back in the days. You know, he's met my mother. He would call my house when we had a landline phone. And, you know, my room was upstairs. So my mother would answer the phone and, you know, my mom would talk to him, have conversation with him. And, you know, those memories. And I got a little something here. I don't know if y'all can see this, but some pictures of us together right here.
Yes.
That's just a couple, but I gotta shout out my girlfriend. She made this for me. It was really nice. So
nice.
Appreciate that. But yeah, like I said, the memories of Biz and I are, you know, we've done a lot of parties together. He's come to Norwalk. We've gone out to eat. I brought him, you know, different places when he would come to the town, and just gonna miss him, man. You know, it hurt me when I heard that he passed. You know, when I heard the news, you know, there was false news a couple weeks prior to that.
I actually texted you when the false news came up, and I knew you was the source to know it. So I text you, and I'm like, "Hey, Billy, what's up?" He's like, "What's up?" I said, "Hey, I've heard, you know, some rumors about Biz. You know, whether is that, you know, true?" And there's two people that I could go to find that out. I invited two people here, very instrumental to the life of Biz. I knew they were very close to Biz. Big shout out to Dave Fresh again. Dave Fresh, once upon a time, was a promoter. You know, he booked. You know, all of us to do gigs for him. So I invited him. Right. He couldn't get on. And then big shout out to Fly Tie, who's the founder of Cold Chillin'. Fly Tie can never get on this thing with Zoom for whatever reason. Fly Tie.
I had issues myself. I can't lie. I mean, I was playing with this. I was like, yo, every time I go to try to Zoom, get a Zoom meeting, I have problems.
I had a hard time. We got to get.
I finally got through though.
We got to give you a Zoom one-on-one, like Shafiq said. You got to get on. You got to leave the Obama phones alone. That's first of all. And the
no, I don't have the Obama phone. No, my phone's legit. But yeah, like I said, man.
No, they're called Biden phones now.
Oh, is that what it is?
Here's the thing.
Oh Lord, let's not get back to politics.
They're called Billy. They're called Biden phones now. And the reason you have a hard time getting on Zoom because it can't make a decision.
Wow. Okay.
we're
That's
going to
great.
get back to,
Executive order.
yeah, and so that's that for Biz. What's your most memory about Biz, Billy?
Oh wow. So many. I remember we were in New Orleans at the Essence Festival. We DJ'd a party together. It was me, Biz, and Dougie Fresh. And I got to big up Chris Latimer. He was throwing that party back then. But yeah, Magic Johnson's all white party. That was a crazy event, man. And that's just one of so many that we've done together. Like I said, I brought him to the Hilltop in Norwalk where we did all 45 event. He brought all his records, he came up, I invited him down, Biz just came on the strength, he was so solid. Like, I'm doing this because it's you. We had that personal relationship, and I appreciate that, because let me tell you something, there's not too many artists in this business who remain solid and keep in touch with people they know and love. One thing I could say about Biz, if you were close to him, he would always call you to check on you to make sure you were good. And he always did that with me. And I could honestly say he called me and I called him. That's how real he was. He would, and sometimes I would be shocked. I was like, wow, Biz is calm. And he always say, Billy, what's the latest? That's the first thing he say, Billy, what's the latest? I'm gonna miss that, man. Those random calls, like just having conversations. And he always asked about my daughter and my family, just made sure I was good, man. That's how I know he was a real true friend. Forget about him being a celebrity. He didn't look at it like that. If you were close to him, he always made sure that you were good. And I know many people that knew him personally will tell you the same story.
You mentioned Chris Latimer. Big shout out to Chris Latimer. I remember we went to the Cancun All Stars. We were out there with 50, Wyclef, and Capri. They were all on the Columbia record. So my man OJ took us out there. And actually, you used to be on the Chris Latimer's list of DJs.
Yes.
That used to, bring you to Cancun to DJ. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes, that is correct. I ran real heavy with Chris back in the days, the early 2000s. I did the spot in Manhattan, March 2112, one of the biggest parties in New York.
I came over there. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest parties in New York City on the weekend. And I was a part of it, along with, rest in peace, DJ Spinbad. Shout out DJ Goldfinger, was all of us, man. I was in that room. As soon as you walk in March 2112, for those that know of the club, you walk in there, that first room you walk into is the room where I was at. It was kind of like a lounge setting, so I was playing a lot of classic R&B, and the party was just incredible, man. Just those memories, and Biz would come there too, and like I said, man, just a lot of great memories. I'm glad I come from the era and all the experience and the things I've seen and the things I've done, and to be able to share these stories with everyone, just so, give a history of how, I came up.
And I think there are 3 Biz songs that I can not do an old school party without playing, or any adult mature crowd party. Nobody Beats the Biz being one of them. Well being one of them, and picking
Let me turn you on.
Let me tell you on, and then picking boogers. I mean,
boogers, yeah.
It's a lot of hit records out there, for Biz. What do you think his legacy will be, in your opinion?
I feel like his legacy, like I said, just for the people who knew him personally and what type of person he was. And just like I said, about him being a celebrity, it wasn't about Biz being a celebrity. It was about Biz being a good friend, a good human being. He was very approachable. If you wanted to take a picture with Biz, if you seen Biz in the street, he would never turn you down. A lot of so-called celebrities, or, some people in this business that are not as big as they claim to be,
right?
You can't even approach them for a picture. A lot of people don't want to be bothered. Biz would always make time to talk to the people. That's how real he was. He always wanted to stay connected with his fans and just people around. He never thought he wasn't too good to talk to anyone.
You just nailed something. And DJ Santo, who is also my brother, on the come up as the next big celebrity DJ, he put up a post that somebody local hired him, and on his rider, he didn't have a rider. They made a rider for him of everything that they were providing to him, including a security. And I told him, I said, Santo, check the security off your list. and make sure that you are approachable to your fans. That is very important.
Very important. That's another thing with me. Like, you know me, Kingsley. Like, I'm not. I don't come off to be cocky or arrogant.
Now, you're the most humble. You're one of the most humble DJs that I know.
It's a fact.
Most humble DJs that I know.
I don't think I'm out here. I don't portray myself to be the best DJ in the world. I know I can hold my weight. I know what I've done. I know I can get in a room. I can read any room I go into, and I'll figure it out.
And but you know that I know that we were running through the labels. People will ask me the question, so who is killing the clubs out there? I wouldn't put myself before you. I'm like, Billy's is killing the clubs out there, but I know I'm killing the mixtapes.
You were. And like I said, yo, that era, nobody could take that from you and I. We were out in these streets hustling cassette tapes.
Hard.
Okay. like going to like printing companies to get the labels printed out. Like, yo, these new DJs have no idea, like, the grind and the legwork we've have put in. I'm serious. Like, they have no idea. Everything is so convenient with the technology and the internet. Like, all you gotta do is stay home, press a button now.
And actually, Billy, on this show, I'm gonna let Shafiq come in. I actually, we wanted to give you your flowers on this show.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
People hardly, it's one of the names that people don't really come up, because you're not that dude that's doing a whole lot of mouth talk. You are about these fingers.
I let my talent speak for itself. If people like me, that's cool. If you don't like me, that's fine too. Like, not everybody's gonna like you in this business or in the world. Not everybody's gonna like you. Somebody's gonna have something to say about you, good or bad.
Definitely. Now, yes. Shafiq, you got anything, any question about whatever you want to post to Billy?
I've actually heard Billy Bush show. I've listened to it several times, so I like that Billy Bush show. You got that nice. I can't even do it, but it got the echo thing going. We got to get that.
Yeah.
Harry, can we get that? Can we get the Billy Bush echo? Be like, y'all.
Oh, I got you. I can send you
that. Yeah. Do something for us, man. Get us fresh. But no, man, listen. I did not know Biz Markie personally. I did grow up in that era, Biz Markie, Skinny Boys, all of that. I was in college. I remember the #1 hit. When I came back home from college, she says she's just a friend. Oh, we love that song, man. We love that song, man. And Biz Markie,
that was definitely Biz's biggest crossover record. That was his big. I believe it sold a few million copies, but that was definitely his biggest record that people know him for. That everyone knows.
Yeah, he made music like many brothers did back at that time, and the sisters. It was relevant. You could identify. I mean, we were in college. I was in college. He was in relationships, and we were all in that. Girls say it's just a friend. It's like, who is this? It's just my friend. You find out it's her boyfriend. Visiting for the weekend.
Harry say he's about to cut us off.
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh no. Let me do a station ID, because the conversation is going to continue on Facebook Live. We're going to sign off on the radio. This is the Urban Talk Radio 103.5 FM WNHH. I am your host, Kingsley Ossei, and my co-host, Shafiq. And if you are just joining us in the last part of our show, you can follow the conversation on Facebook at Bold Minds and Twitter at Bold Minds. Also on my Facebook page at Kingsley Ossei. You can also stream this show and previous shows on your smartphone or computer by logging on to newhavenindependent.org. Thank you for joining us. Remember, Urban Talk Radio airs every Wednesday at 11 a.m. The conversation continues with the world-famous DJ Billy Bush, and we are remembering the late Biz Markie, and also making sure that DJ Billy Bush, who is a hip-hop pioneer of hip-hop legend of the state of Connecticut, we give him his flowers, because he is not local. This man has been around the country, DJing, spreading a lot of love, not doing a whole lot of talking. I remember when we used to go to music convention and Billy just would not talk. I was aggressively getting in artist's face, like, you're going to give me this drop. It's like a vote or die.
You were so persistent with those artists, man. Let me tell you, you were not playing. You were determined to get a drop from everyone, and you did. And I know you have a lot of those drops. If I heard some of those drops now, it would bring back so many memories. I just remember, because I was there for a lot of that. I remember. I remember.
Those drops, and my reason for the drops was because I do violence prevention assemblies, and I talk about this, that I hate my accent. There was a time when I came to this country and I was ashamed to be an African, and I had this thick British accent that people will pick on, and so I didn't like to hear myself talking, so I will use the drop in between my music as a substitute for my, to talk. And the drop was also the tool that we were using to break artists' music. Now, from then and now, like we had Hakeem from Channel Live here, and we talked about, music, how record was broken then and now. We were using the artist drop to break the music. So that artist DJ relationship was very, because those were built. We went to music conventions. They needed us as much as we needed them. So
right.
You remember my relationship with artists like Onyx and Redman, and those guys will see me and they will actually approach me to give me a drop.
Mob Deep, like
Mobb
you were real
Deep,
close to them. Yeah.
Because they know that every time they seen us, we had a mixtape with their new music on it.
That's right.
With the drop.
What? We weren't playing, man. Those drops were serious, man.
And
I listened, it's funny you say that, because I was listening to some of my old drops, and I got one with Guru and KRS-One together, and Lauryn Hill and Erykah Badu. Like, she did the very first drop for me back on that. I believe I forget what party that was. It was in Manhattan, the Fugees party.
Right. Oh, yeah, if that was the Fugees party, that had to be the new music seminar. It probably was because they wasn't doing too many performances in New York. But I remember New Music Seminar, they did do a performance. My best drops that I had, I have a Biggie drop that only a few people in the world got a Biggie drop. And and I think you remember where I got that drop. I got that drop at How Can I Be Down? No, it wasn't How Can I Be Down. It was Jack the Rapper when he first performed on that big stage. When everybody just seen him perform for the first time, first or second time. And when he got off that stage and I ran into him to get the drop, and he made it, and the drop didn't come out correctly. So we walk in the hallway, and I seen him in the hallway with King Just. They were smoking. And I went up to him and I'm like, yo, the drop that you gave me didn't come out correct. Can we do it again? He was like, you want to record? That shit is working. Yo, it's Notorious B.I.G. I was like, bam.
You were not afraid to do that. If it didn't come out right, Kingsley would be like, hold on, it didn't come out clear. Can we do this again? Like, I got to give it to you, Kingsley, man. Yo, if I had your heart, man, like, you were just so determined, man, to get these drops from it. But look, like, now you can look back and say, a lot of DJs don't have these kind of drops, man. Those ain't no regular drops. We were doing that on cassette tape Walkmans.
Right.
Like,
and then I had a ODB drop. We were going to we were together, I think. We were together when I got that drop. We were going to Mariah Carey party on the yacht in the pier. And and on the way, I seen him in the parking lot. And it started raining. You remember that?
I remember that, man. Wow. Woo. So many memories, man. And he cursed through the whole drop. He did
curse through the whole drop.
He cursed through everything. He did, Billy Bush, how can I be down? Blah, 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 blah.
And there was one thing that Billy...
I got to pull on.
Okay. And Billy, there was one thing that you always talked about. You always was tight because I didn't have any kids, and you was like, you still ain't got no kids. Kingsley ain't got no kids. Kingsley ain't got no kids, and Kingsley ain't got no kids. And now I got a kid. How do you feel?
Hey man, I got grandkids, brother. I got twin grandkids.
I know you do, beautiful ones too.
Love those boys. Those boys changed my life. When I lost both my parents, man. And they came into my life a couple of years later. It was like I lost two and I gained two at the same time. You know what I mean? It was like Boys mean everything to me, man.
And my condolences, Shafiq, I'll have you sign off before you leave. My condolences to you, man, because it have really, really been tough for you the past couple of years. You lost your, whom I have both met. You lost your father, and then you lost your mother, back
Weeks after that.
Yeah,
my father died October 26, 2017. My mother died November 17th. And I remember, like, when my father passed, I was like, how am I going to tell my mother? She was in a nursing home, and I didn't want to stress her out. So I didn't even tell her. And then I went on a vacation. I went on a cruise to try to ease my mind, to take my mind off of what I was dealing with, what I was going through. Last day of my vacation, I get a call. My phone is blowing up. Like, everybody's calling me from the nursing home. And I looked at that phone and I said to myself, I know what this is. And I had to brace myself. I said, we call them back, and sure enough, they told me your mom passed in her sleep at 1:30 in the morning. And when I got that news, I was in the middle of the ocean. There was nothing I could do. I'm out in the middle of the water somewhere. So to lose my father and to lose my mother like 18 days later, 9 months after that, I lost the house I grew up in all my life. So it was like a domino effect. Everything just went, it crumbled at the same time. But I pulled myself through. I figured it out. I got through it. I prayed about it. I bounced back. I'm in a new space in my life. Like I said, I got 2 grandkids now. Keep me very occupied and busy, which I love. Those are my boys, man. Shout out my daughter, Hannah. She just turned 20.
Your daughter, Hannah, this little girl that you will bring to my record store, and she ran up in there and she be like, Daddy, Wheels. Yeah. And she will come straight on the DJ booth.
Yeah. And now I have my grandson, Toby, who is the same way. He's 1 year, and I don't know, well, this is my record player right here. It's next to my bed.
Okay.
So he goes over there, he grabs the records. He's scratching, like he knows how to put the arm on the record. And that's good because I'm teaching him how to get the feel of the vinyl. If he's going to learn how to do this, he's going to start out how I started out. I want him to feel how the records are on the turntables. I want him to get the feeling of vinyl. And he's doing it. And if I have videos to prove it, and you would be really impressed. You see one at the time, he's 2 now. He just celebrated his 2nd birthday a couple weeks ago. But he's getting better, and I know, like, gonna be on to something soon.
Make sure you get the videos rolling, man. Shafiq, you wanna give Billy's flowers before you leave?
Yes. Hey, listen, man. My condolences to you for losing your parents. I know how that feels. I lost my grandmother earlier this year. Same thing in a nursing home after over a year, really not being able. Without being able to see her. It was frustrating because when I finally was able to go there, she only had like about 4 days. So it was just like, it's. But you know what, man? Here's what I'm gonna say to you: listen to your work. So I know your work is good. Every time I get a chance to get on the radio, your station, I listen to it.
The #1 station.
And
shout out DJ Buck, my boss.
Hold on, slow down, man. Slow down. 103.5 FM.
Oh, I'm
Top
sorry.
radio show, Urban Talk Radio.
Come on.
Hip hop station.
If we have to have a rap off, listen, we got hip hop here, man. We got hip hotel, motel. What you gonna do today?
Come on,
we do a rap off, man.
Yeah, that's right.
No, but I respect y'all work, man. In fact, I've been on y'all show when y'all had when you brought people on and talk about stuff in the community. I've actually come up there a couple of times and done some stuff with y'all and DJ Buck. I don't know if you remember. It was a while ago. But nevertheless, listen, man, appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Come back anytime.
I appreciate it.
We're here for you. And
love everything you guys are doing.
Do me a favor, man. Yeah, just give Kingsley a hug because he's really having a hard time with the politics right now. And Kingsley is going to be better.
He's a strong politician. He's doing good, man. He's going to be great out here. Trust me. That's my
Billy,
brother.
Billy,
Yeah.
rephrase. He's signing off. Let's be clear to our listeners. I am not a politician. I'm just an advocate. Shafiq
You're
is
an
a
advocate.
Shafiq is a politician. He's actually running for office. I am not a public official. I
Okay.
am. I
You're an
am
advocate.
just.
Listen,
No, I'm not.
I'm not a politician. I'm running for elected office.
You running for
And
elected
I'm
office.
a
You're
community
politician,
person.
bro. You can't reword it.
No,
You a politician, bro. So our languages are different. We talk different.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we talk different. I'm just an advocate. I speak for the
my
people.
language, listen, Kingsley, you see this? I have one language. It's a love language.
Okay.
Love is
And it's
everything.
simple.
Gotta
Love is
have
All right,
love.
listen, gentlemen, I gotta go, man.
All
I
right.
gotta drop a quick.
All right.
I call them mixtapes, but they're press conference. I gotta drop a quick one. Listen, I
Okay.
appreciate y'all. God bless. Right, Billy Bush.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all having me on the show. Thank you.
All
I
right.
love
Billy,
you.
don't live. Billy, don't
God
live
bless.
yet. Billy, don't live yet. And actually, he did say something about, when you mentioned the station ID. No, this is a community radio, and we actually give voices to everybody, anybody that is doing something positive. It doesn't matter whether it's a radio, TV. Yes, we introduce you as DJ Billy Bush from WZMX Hot 93.7. And I recently did an interview with DJ Buck, who is your current boss at the radio station right here. And on that note, we also want to give a big shout out to, DJ Ron Ice.
Yes. Let's big him up and salute Ron, because he gave us the platform to do the show every Sunday from 3 to 6. I came aboard, I believe it was 1990, and I got a shout out Egon Speak Green, because he brought me to the station back then. I got to give him his flowers and salute him, because if it wasn't for him, I would have never gotten on that station, because he was already close to Ron. So he introduced me to Ron. We became good friends, and the rest is history. You came aboard later on.
I came in 91.
Came in 91, yeah. And I was there from 1990 to 2003, and then I went over to ZMX, and I've been there ever since.
And as easy as we make it sound, coming up as DJs, our dream was not to do mixtapes or whatever. Most DJs' dream was to get on radio. And as easy as it is to be able to get on radio now, back then it wasn't.
No.
It wasn't.
One thing I would always say, not to cut you off, one thing I would always say, I always said my dream was always to get on commercial radio. I said one day I need to get on commercial radio, and no disrespect to any other DJs, because I would listen to how the radio was back then. I would say, wow, man, I need to be on there.
But Billy, I think it probably advanced from college radio, because commercial radio wasn't really a big deal, and commercial radio wasn't playing hip hop.
Right, that's true.
So that's why I said that our dream was to get on radio. It didn't matter whether it was commercial or not. It was just radio, period. I think the commercial radio for you came along somewhere down the line, because look at Connecticut. We didn't have any commercial radio station in Connecticut that was playing hip hop. So our stations and a few others were dependent on for that one day a week for you to come in and give them their real hip hop. And I was giving that shout out to Ron Ice. Not only he gave us the platform was also extended where we did not have cuffs as to a list of what we can play and what we couldn't play, except for curses. We played
whatsoever. We whatever records we had in the bag, that's what we played. Whatever it didn't have to be a familiar song after a song that nobody didn't know. He just let us go. We did our thing, and I believe we created something great at that time, man.
And another flower that I want to give you on that during that era was being that we couldn't play. FCC was very strict. FCC is like, they are worthless now. I don't even know what it stands for. Back then FCC was so strict that you could not play music with any type of curse words coming out of it. So when the song didn't have radio versions on it, somebody such as yourself memorized the lyrics some way, somehow, and was fading the curses out.
I didn't get the curses out, because you know what? The thing is, we wanted to play the record so bad we wanted to play, because we wanted to let the listeners know, hey, we got this first. So if the song wasn't completely clean, there we go. As soon as the curse comes up,
live edit.
we're over.
Live edit.
Live edits, man. We did a lot of those. We did a lot of live edits, man.
Yeah,
Let me
yes,
tell
we
you.
did. Yes, we did. And I have one memory when I brought Fredro Starr during our promo tour to Diamond Gems.
Oh yeah, I remember. I remember that.
And he was performing on the table right in front of you. And that table dropped to the ground and he just kept performing. You remember that? He broke the table doing he was doing a throw your guns in the air.
Yeah.
And broke the table.
So classic, man. So many memories, man. Nobody can take those memories from us.
No,
man.
you can't. And you know, I'm talking about giving you your flowers, and I'm gonna continue to say that you left your headphone one day at Diamond Gems when you was DJing at Diamond Gems, and not seeing you DJ with vinyls without your headphones, which is something easy for people to do now, DJing with no headphones because of all these, you know, digital cues and whatnot. You DJ with vinyls. Do you remember that day?
Yeah, and that tight booth. I remember that.
You DJ in that tight booth with vinyls with no headphones. Now, how did you do that?
Just knowing the records. And a lot of I could pull out a record right now. I could tell you where the spot is, even if it isn't marked. I know exactly how to get to where I got to get to. Just having the knowledge of the music. A lot of DJs don't have knowledge of the music. And, you know, like I said, the technology's made everything so convenient for them to, you know, get files. And I don't care if you got 50,000 files in your computer. Do you know how to play them? Do you have any knowledge of the music? Because if you don't have any knowledge of the music, you're not making any sense.
No,
because you could play a little baby song and play McFadden and Whitehead after that. Like, right. Oh, this is old and this is new. Like, that's all they know. They right. weren't there to like really know what the music is and what it's about, you know?
I was having a conversation with somebody lately, you know, we're talking about, you know, be nice. And, you know, I credit DJs that have knowledge of music. And I said, D Nice have knowledge of music. But I said, but I think I could put my money up. Yeah, I think I was probably talking to my wife or somebody about this conversation. And I said, I can put my money up. Billy got more knowledge of music than D Nice. Not to do, you know, not to make it as a competition thing.
Right. But not to discredit anything that he does.
Not to discredit anything, but I definitely respect your knowledge of music.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I do. I'm a heavy record collector. I'm collecting records to this day, man. I'll do it till the day I die. And that's one thing about me and Biz. We would just collect records. I'm gonna miss him getting on the phone with me and just having a 45 talk. Like, you have no idea, man. It's like I just think of all that stuff. And last week I did a tribute on the radio, and it was hard. It was hard because
I did listen to that. I did listen to that.
So fresh. Like, it was 3 days later. Like, I had to go on the radio and do a tribute to him, and it was like I said, it was more than just music. It was a personal, close friendship. You know, so it touched me, and it was hard. It was really hard for me to get through it. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie to you.
Well, I always wanted to do this show. I wanted to bring you on to, you know, to really honor you. It's unfortunate that I invited you on to really remember Biz. That is not the platform that I wanted to bring, you know, to bring you on. But you know,
it was appropriate, you know, being that we had the close bond that we had. It was the right thing for you to do, and you know. When you said you wanted to do it, I was like, oh man, I gotta start talking about my friend again, you know. But
right.
You know, I think this was it was more easier to do than it was last Monday, because last Monday was fresh. I mean, Friday when I got the news, I had just gotten off the radio, and Egon had called me and told me he's gone. I said, "Is right." I didn't want to believe it. I said, let me do my research. I sat in my car. I had a club to go to that night. I sat in my car. I said, well, I said, if it's on TMZ and CNN, it's pretty much a done deal. And it was confirmed by his wife. You
right.
know, 6:35 p.m. She was there with him, you know, until he took his last breath. So it was. And from there, I was just like, oh man, when I had to drive down the highway and I was just and I was just in shock. Like, and not for nothing, Biz put up a good fight, you know.
A whole year, right?
He went in the hospital last July.
Yeah, man. Flight Tie was telling. I was on the phone with Flight Tie, and he broke it down to me. You know, he told me he was in the hospital for like a whole year.
Here, man, I can't even imagine him suffering that long, man. Then he had the stroke in December, the diabetic coma after that. Like, it was. We all had hopes for him to bounce back, but it's when you suffer something that serious, like, you know, they said his brain was affected, you know, his speech wasn't the same. You know, I prayed for him all the time, man. I did. I was hoping that, I said, nah, Biz been fighting this December. He's gonna get through this. And we all thought he would get through it. And it was a long fight, man. It was, but I'm sure he was suffering.
Yeah, we had Roxanne Shante here. We didn't really, you know, elaborate too much, you know, too much on that. And I know she was very close.
They came up together. They
right.
did.
Yep. It was very close to business.
Yes.
Yep.
The old chilling days. You know, he would beatbox for her, you know. But there's just so much history, man. Like, I wonder, I can only imagine how, like, Marley Marl and you know, the people that were really Cool V, shout out and respect to
Master Ace.
Master Ace, respect to Cool V, you know, right. Just his whole family, his kids, man, everybody, man, his wife.
The whole Cool Chillin' family and
yes.
extended. Well, we wish him, you know, we wish you guys our condolences, you know, hope, you know, you get through it. But, you know, I hope you're not drinking as much soda as you used to.
Oh, no. Listen, I stopped drinking soda. Okay. So I stopped drinking soda. You know, it's funny you say that because you know how much soda I used to drink.
Yes. Bucket of it.
One day, you know, I went for my physical a few years back and they told me my sugar level was, you know, elevated. So they said, you know, if you don't make necessary changes in your diet and what you drink, you can develop diabetes. So
you was eating a lot of junk food too.
Yeah, some people have a hard time, like, because listen, soda is an addiction. Like, caffeine is an addiction.
Yes, definitely.
It might not be on, you know, it's not like smoking cigarettes or nothing, but it is an addiction. Mm-hmm. And, you know, when I used to go out with my father to eat all the time, he would drink soda. So I was like, I would drink 2-3 sodas. That's all I drank. I didn't even drink water. I was drinking soda, straight up soda. And that was horrible for me, man. And it caught up to me, but I got everything under control. I exercise, I drink water.
You're looking good. You're looking good.
Thank you, man. I'm trying, man. You look good too, man. We don't look our age.
Thanks, bro.
I know you got birthday coming up in September. I know that.
You already
I know that.
You already know, man.
All right. And how's your daughter doing? Your daughter's good?
She's good, man. I just don't put her, you know, she's over there. Yeah, she's good. My daughter's good. My daughter's good.
Her, man. God bless your family.
She's a blessing. I thought of you when I had my daughter. I'm like, you know, you, Ron, Stu, a few that always beating me up for not having no kids. And I'm like, I got one now.
Now you have one, and you see that you're a changed man. I see it in your eyes. I see the pictures on social media, and I'm like, look at this guy, man.
Yeah, man.
That touched my heart to see how happy you are and how having a kid has changed you.
Thank you, man.
Daughter.
Thank you. It's easy to have one, but you know, having one with the right person is very important. And that's really what I waited for. Billy Bush, you know, continued success. Much love to you. And
same to you, brother.
Thank you for coming in with us, man. All right.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you, Kingsley. Love you, my brother.
Love you too, bro.
All right, man.
Easy.
Now this may sound disgusting and like very gross. but it's sure to have you tripping. See, yo, listen close. It's not right at the sun or sweet like sugar, but it's rather on the butt tip and it's called pick and booger. Now when I am playing might not be kosher to you, but it's still something we all have to do. So go up your nose with a finger or two and pull out one all crusty crew. Yo, don't try to front like it's so gloomy and gray, cause we all pick our boogers sometime every day. Whether out in the open or on the sneak tip with a finger.